Paris had always been known as the city of elegance, romance, and unfaltering charm, but nothing, absolutely nothing, could compare to the chaos that erupted the moment Jungkook of BTS stepped out of his hotel on an otherwise calm Parisian afternoon. The sky was painted in soft shades of autumn gold, the chilly breeze carrying faint scents of roasted coffee and fallen leaves, when suddenly the quiet hum of the city was interrupted by a wave of screams, gasps, camera shudders, and the unmistakable vibration of collective excitement. Jungkook appeared at the hotel entrance dressed head to toe in a simple, effortless, dangerously stylish all-black look, and within seconds Paris transformed from a city of tourists into a living, breathing avalanche of global fandom energy from the moment rumors began swirling earlier that morning that Jungkook might be in Paris. Army from throughout the city had started gathering near the luxury hotel where he was speculated to be staying. No confirmation had been made, no official schedule had been announced, yet the instinct of fans, sharp, emotional, and always undeniable, pulled them toward the hotel as though the universe itself had whispered the truth. Hours passed, tension grew, and anticipation thickened like fog around them. Some had arrived before sunrise holding coffee cups to stay warm, some had rushed from school or work the moment whispers started circulating online. By midday, the crowd had swelled considerably, forming a human sea that ebbed and flowed with the unpredictable rhythm of excited fans. But despite their numbers, the crowd remained respectful, eyes fixed on the rotating hotel doors that had so far revealed nothing but guests, staff, and the occasional passing celebrity whose presence barely registered compared to the possibility of seeing Jungkook. Inside the hotel's lobby, security personnel paced strategically near the entrance, whispering into their earpieces, glancing at the tinted doors, adjusting their formation. The tension inside mirrored the feverish excitement outside. The hotel staff moved briskly, preparing the route for Jungkook's departure with the precision of a major diplomatic event. Even those who worked daily in the presence of high-profile figures couldn't deny the electricity in the air. Jungkook was not just a celebrity, he was a phenomenon, the kind of figure who could shift the entire mood of a city simply by stepping into the light. And today, he was about to do just that. Then came the moment that made Paris tremble. Jungkook appeared at the lobby staircase first, descending slowly with the grace of someone who long ago became familiar with the spotlight yet never seemed burdened by it. His outfit was simple: black cap, black mask, black oversized sweatshirt, black loose-fit pants, black sneakers. Every piece monochromatic, clean, sleek, and understated, yet somehow more striking than the most extravagant runway ensemble. He didn't need accessories, glitter, or bold prints. The minimalism itself was the statement. He looked like the embodiment of quiet power, the kind of presence that doesn't announce itself loudly but still commands absolute attention. As he walked toward the doors, the leaves outside rustled sharply, almost as if they too sensed the moment. Security closed in, forming a buffer, preparing for what awaited outside. Jungkook's pace was calm, unhurried, almost serene, as though he were unaware, or perhaps simply unfazed, by the frenzy that was seconds away from erupting. He dipped his head politely toward staff who bowed to him with warmth and admiration, then he slipped his hands casually into the pockets of his sweatshirt, creating an aura of effortless cool that could silence entire stadiums. The doors slid open, and Paris exploded. The crowd outside went from quiet suspense to raw emotional eruption in an instant. Screams filled the air, high-pitched and trembling with disbelief. Phones shot up like thousands of tiny spotlights, flashing and recording all at once. Some fans gasped so loudly that others turned their heads. Some broke into tears the moment they saw him, overwhelmed by the surreal proximity. Some froze, unable to move. And some clutched their chests as though their hearts had forgotten how to beat. Jungkook stepped into the chaos, still as calm as the autumn wind. His mask covered most of his face, but his presence, his aura, was unmissable. The black cap cast a shadow across his eyes, adding a layer of mystery that only intensified the collective meltdown. Even from behind the mask, fans claimed they could feel his gentle smile, that signature quiet warmth he carried with him no matter where he went. His posture was relaxed, his energy humble, and yet he radiated the unmistakable star power of someone who had the world wrapped around his fingertips. Security responded quickly, forming a tight circle around him as he moved toward the parked black vehicle waiting at the curb. But even then, Jungkook stayed close to his team, subtly making sure everyone was safe as he navigated the crowd. It was one of the things fans loved about him, the way he carried kindness in every step, the way his humility never wavered despite the storm of adoration that followed him. As he approached the car, the sunlight caught the glossy surface of the vehicle and reflected flashes of gold onto his black outfit, creating a cinematic moment so perfect it could have been pulled straight from a high-budget music video. Leaves scattered across the sidewalk fluttered around his feet as he walked, as though nature itself was reacting to his presence. The fans closest to him shouted his name repeatedly, some calling Jungkook in desperate disbelief, others whispering "I love you" through shaking breaths. One fan near the front broke into tears so hard she dropped her phone, yet she didn't even bother picking it up. Her entire focus was on Jungkook moving inches before her eyes. Another fan clasped her hands tightly, whispering "Thank you for coming to Paris" over and over again. A group of ARMY who had traveled from other cities kept chanting John Jungkook. John Jungkook, with unstoppable excitement, their voices blending into the chaotic symphony of the afternoon. Jungkook bowed slightly toward the crowd, a small gesture, barely a movement, but enough to send another earthquake of screams through Paris. Despite being shielded by his mask and cap, that little bow conveyed everything fans adored about him: gratitude, modesty, warmth. He didn't need to speak. The gesture alone was enough to express his presence. He reached the vehicle door, and as the bodyguards opened it, he turned his head slightly toward the fans. Some swore they saw his eyes crinkle above the mask, a tiny hint of a smile. Whether or not that was true didn't matter. For ARMY, the smallest possibility of a smile from Jungkook was enough to transform their entire day. With one last glance at the crowd, Jungkook stepped into the car. The door closed softly, the engine ignited, and slowly the vehicle began to pull away. But even as it disappeared into the Parisian streets, fans continued screaming, cheering, crying, waving, filming, hugging each other in disbelief. They knew they had witnessed something unforgettable. Something rare. Something that would live forever in their memories and in videos replayed millions of times online. Paris had been loud before. It had seen celebrities. It had seen history. But the sound that filled the air that day, the sound of thousands of hearts beating in sync the moment Jungkook appeared, was unlike anything the city had ever experienced. The scene outside that hotel became a symbol of how powerful and global BTS's impact truly was. It was a reminder that Jungkook wasn't just an artist, he was a worldwide phenomenon whose presence could transform ordinary streets into legendary moments. As the hotel staff began rearranging the entrance and security dispersed gradually, fans stayed lingering on the sidewalk, some sitting on the curb still trembling, others laughing in disbelief, some hugging total strangers who had experienced the same moment. The energy remained electric long after Jungkook's car disappeared. People replayed the moment, showing each other the videos they captured, zooming into frames, analyzing every step, every nod, every hint of expression behind his mask. ARMY Online erupted simultaneously, sending social media platforms into a frenzy as Jungkook in Paris, JK All Black, and Paris Went Crazy began trending worldwide within minutes. No one knew where Jungkook was headed next. No one knew what schedule he had in Paris. But none of that mattered. What mattered was that for a few unforgettable minutes, Jungkook stepped out of his hotel in an all-black outfit and made an entire city shake. He didn't perform. He didn't speak. He didn't do anything flashy. And yet, he created a moment so iconic it would be replayed and remembered long after the autumn leaves had fallen.